Hey, it's Julian. Yeah, we didn't record an episode for this week. I wasn't feeling it. Also didn't have much to talk about, and I'm also very tired. We're getting towards the end of the season, and I'm feeling it something fierce, and we got a lot of stuff that we're juggling right now as we get ready for the end of season break. So fortunately, I had something in my back pocket. I'm also kind of ill as I'm recording this, so this episode is it's very low effort. But the actual thing you're going to hear wasn't low effort. This was actually originally intended to be an episode for one person, super contributor Dennis Robertson, who, in addition to supporting us on Patreon, had also been he subscribed to us on Coffee for $50 a month for quite some time, which was also enough to get us over the threshold that we were looking to hit in order to start producing Cinemorons for executive producer patrons, which has become probably my favorite thing that we're doing these days. So as a way of thanks, we did a special Suffer Select just for Dennis because Suffer Select is his favorite thing. But he did say that he would like it to be shared with the rest of the listeners. And since I had that ready to go and we didn't have an episode for this week, and I hate having a gap in the schedule, this is what we have for you. It's a pretty fun episode from what I remember. And also, I thought it'd be fun to just like kind of share it with everybody. It's the most parasocial thing that we've ever done, but if you would like a custom-made podcast, you can also get one by submitting hundreds of dollars to us. It would probably be less than that. I don't know what the monetary threshold would be, but it wouldn't be as much as Dennis has put our way. So another big thanks to Dennis, and a thanks to you for continuing to listen to our dumb shenanigans. Hope you enjoy this secret episode of the Suffer Select, and we'll see you next week with a regular episode. Bye.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast, but specifically talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands, not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. Everyone's going up and down. There just might be some tragedy in this chest. Having fun with a special guest. Time for Steve Select.
Well, welcome to the most parasocial thing that we have ever done in the course of our podcasting together, Justin.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, because this is a very special edition of the Suffer Select
Yeah,
for you, Dennis Robertson.
that's right.
You
One man.
pointing. You can't see it, but that's what I'm doing. Justin can't either. 'Cause
I was
we're
just
having,
gonna say, don't worry, I can't see it either, so it's fine.
yeah, we're having some issues with our cameras right now, or with my camera. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I think they work. But it's
Yeah,
the thing we used to record is not. It thinks Julian is underage. We think so.
Maybe, yeah. There's
It's the whole
some sort of
thing.
weirdness going
It's
on.
the whole thing. Yeah, we don't know.
I mean, I felt like I was 16 playing this.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Definitely took me back. So
Yeah,
we've been wanting to do this actually for a long time. Dennis, you have supported the show like above and beyond
yes,
what we could ever ask, you know, with all of those coffee donations. Like that
absolutely.
was huge. It also like helped us reach that threshold to get Cinemorons off the ground, and that has
Right.
become easily my favorite thing that we're doing these days.
And we planned on doing it a while back.
yeah,
Okay.
like pretty much once we hit the Cinemorons threshold, we were like, we should
Yeah.
do something like special for
And-
Dennis.
And we even had a day set, I believe, at one point, but something happened and we didn't get to do it. And I played this game like months ago.
Yes.
It's still emblazoned in my brain for the most
Yes.
part. Julian's probably going to have to refresh me a little bit on some of it, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's a video game. Oh boy.
When you nominated Perfect Weapon, I was like, "Oh, that's a real good one."
That's
and
a real good one.
I was kind of holding it in my back pocket, and then when we decided to do a special for you, I was like, "Oh, it's got to be Perfect Weapon," because like, holy shit!
Oh yeah.
And so that's what this episode is about. And so what happened was I bought this on Good Old Games,
right? I remember now,
and I found it to be so. I remember actually playing a good chunk of it, but I did find it to be nigh unplayable on the PC because there's no controller support, and playing it with a keyboard, I was like, this sucks in a way that isn't authentic to me because it's adding an extra layer of shit that because this game, I mean, it did come out for Windows, but come on, this is a PlayStation game.
Yeah, you got further than I did on the PC. I remember I got it for the same thing. I bought it for it was like $2 or $3 or something like that. It was really cheap.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it to launch. I got it to launch, but it would go to like an opening cutscene and then like basically freeze up and die. And I was like, okay.
And that was the other issue, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna emulate it. That's what I did.
And that's what happened. So
yeah,
Justin was going to emulate it, and then I was like, well, I can do that too on the Steam Deck, but I'm not used to doing that. And so what ended up happening is it just didn't stick in my head that I needed to like do the steps to do that.
That's what happened. That's why we delayed it. I remember now. Yeah.
So I just kept forgetting. I was like, oh shit, I got to do that. And then I finally like got it on my Steam Deck and everything, and then it was just like a matter of like, oh shit, like when should we fit this in? Like when should I take the time to play it? Blah blah blah. So we're finally here. We're finally doing this.
Here.
Yeah. What was your? I feel that you already had prior experience with this, Justin. Did you check this out back in the day?
I never played this back in the day. No, I watched a video of I think Mac Muscles playing it, and I was like, wow, that looks terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was I knew what it was. I knew the control scheme and all that shit going into it, but touching it's a different story, right? So
yes. So I was actually excited for this game.
Oh boy.
Because all of the like I mean, it's not like there was a ton of like lead into games back then because it was typically like you'd get like a preview or maybe two and then the review because that's just how like the lead times were on magazines.
If you were lucky, you got that. A lot of times it was just like, here's this random ad for a thing. And then later on I would see the review for it.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the ads played into it as well. I think they were probably running those before like previews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I distinctly remember the pitch was, yo, what if you could fight dudes like all at the same time and we had a way to have you do that in a cool way where, because, you know, even going all the way back to the Super Nintendo with like the beat 'em up and stuff like that.
Sure.
You know, my thing was like, it's really weird. And I know I understood why it had to happen, but it was like, on Final Fight, right? Like you go to engage like 2P and then Axel just kind of waits behind you until you disengage because it would be really like unfair to the player. Like that it's a quarter buncher already, but it would be like unplayable if like they could just gang up on you and just like, you know, rain blows on you from both sides.
Yeah, this sounds like something else I'm playing right now, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and even back then I was like, man, it'd be really cool if there was a way where you could like really fight all of these dudes on the screen at the same time, right? And that's what Perfect Weapon was supposed to be. And in my head, like as we were going into this, even between the months when I played it on PC and now, in my head I'm still thinking like, right, but I might give it a little bit of leeway for it trying to do like the Batman Arkham thing decades before the Batman Arkham thing. But no, that's not the case.
Oh no!
They made it to where a bunch of dudes can be on the screen and they will attack you, and technically you can attack them. But let's say execution not the best.
Oh boy, is it not? Oh yeah, man, what a video game!
What a video game, Justin.
Yeah.
And I know that I would have rented this because this was 96. This was right in the hot spot of
Sure.
me writing my PlayStation fanzine for my friends in high school,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
PlayStation Revolution. And so the weird thing is, right, is that I know
Yeah.
that I rented this to review it for my fanzine.
Right.
But the funny thing is that I remember the games that I gave like super low scores to, which because like I remember giving like Alone in the Dark, the first game on the PlayStation,
Okay.
a 12 out of 100 because it was like one of the worst games I'd ever played up to that point.
Right.
And I remember that D&D fighting game. I think it's Iron and Blood.
I vaguely remember that existing. Yeah.
Yeah. I gave that a pretty low score as well. And
Sure.
I remember those. I don't remember, like, I remember playing Perfect Weapon, but I don't remember it sticking out as that bad back then. And the only thing I can think of, actually, I don't even know. Maybe it was a thing where I didn't get far enough to where I felt that I could even write about it because
That's entirely possible.
spoiler alert,
Yeah.
I didn't get that far in this game.
I got to the second level.
I don't believe you. I don't believe there is a second level to this goddamn game, Justin.
There's more than that. Listen, Julian, the key is to cheat your fucking ass off, to find how to cheat and then continue to cheat.
You got
That's
an NTR a Perfect Weapon.
Yeah. No, I played it as it wanted me to,
As is
for
tradition.
for about an hour. And then I
Yeah.
was like, there is no way I will see anything else in this game unless I cheat. And I think I had to turn on like infinite health. And I want to say I tried using the cheats that are in the game and they were really weird. I think I eventually got those to work, but I
didn't
might
even
have.
think that. Okay, yeah, I it's been so long since video games had like built-in
Yeah.
cheats that that didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, there is like a god mode type thing. You can still fall off a cliff though. So
Oh, interesting. I was going to
yeah.
ask if like you, because we'll get into it a little bit like really shortly, but like there is a lot of platforming here, but I didn't get the sense in the first level that you could actually like fall.
I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure
Interesting.
you can fuck that stuff up.
Yeah.
But then again, I think you can fall off a cliff. I think and die. There's a few ways you can die even in God mode or whatever, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I may have not been able to get the cheats to work. It's been a little while now, and I might have used something on the emulator that just like was almost like a Game Shark type thing, and just
Mhm.
like made sure I didn't lose my health.
Right. Yeah,
because-
every time that I record Games My Mom Found with Mike Albert, and like, you know, he's constantly talking about, you know, using save states and blah blah blah. I haven't
Yep.
figured out how to get that stuff to work on
Oh,
the few games that I've emulated.
save states in this would be fucking useless. Especially on the first level, like you're constant. The first level is insane.
Well,
It's
no,
nuts.
see, my thinking was because I was, as I was playing it, I was like, oh, this might top BioForge, because at least with BioForge I could make saves after. It's like, oh, I got through that
Yeah.
fight reasonably well, so let's lock that in.
Right.
But here it's like very luck of the draw. I even looked up a fucking speed run of this game to see like,
Oh,
okay,
God.
what are the pro strats? There are no pro strats.
No, there probably aren't. Yeah.
Like he was playing it the exact same way that I was, and I was like, okay, no, it's just suffer as G did. Like there's no mastering
it's
this game.
terrible. It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of setup, like story wise, for what little that I have.
Yeah.
It starts with like an interesting pre-rendered cutscene because it's
Yes.
actually using the in-game models instead of like a full-on
Oh,
CG
okay.
cutscene.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Which is interesting because you didn't see that in particular a lot in this era. You would have like the games with the flashy CG, but
What year was it?
96.
Okay, yeah. No, that's
Because like it's funny because it takes place. It looks like it's supposed to be like sort of like a kickboxing match or something like
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
a televised boxing match,
Right.
where the NPC is like dressed like a kickboxer, but then your character is still dressed in his like military outfit because of course
Why
they're not
wouldn't
going to
he
like
be?
make
That's
different.
Well, Julian, that's his
outfit.
gimmick. That's his gimmick.
Sure, sure, yeah.
You know, he's military man.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't
Captain
really
Blake
know.
Hunter.
Yeah.
And so he's fighting in this ring, and then he like turns around, he gets like knocked out by some hidden person.
Well, he gets back to the locker room and gets knocked out.
Oh, he gets left to the locker room. Thank you.
Yeah.
What and then like he wakes up so one thing, like, you know, credit where credit's due, right? I don't want to shit on this game completely because especially when I'm evaluating something that's old, I try to like couch it in the era.
Absolutely.
The only part of the character's voice acting that I heard was the very beginning when he does like this sort of like captain's log type thing. But the voice acting is really excellent for this era.
Actually not bad, yeah, for that era, for sure. I'll agree with that.
I actually pulled the audio from a Let's Play to put in because it's like legit good.
Sure.
Captain Blake Hunter recording. Current date unknown. Current location unknown. I'm utterly lost, utterly alone. Time and place mean nothing to me in this alien land. As for my abductors, they are nowhere to be seen. And so my only enemy at the moment is this brutal cold of this godforsaken land. I now venture out in search of shelter and answers.
And I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive. And I also think it's a nice looking game for a PlayStation's 1996.
Yeah, for 1996. Yeah, I could go for that. I could agree.
I think the pre-rendered environments are actually like really nice. They're really pretty. I think the character models, like for what they're doing, they're pretty stable. Like they're not flying apart or warping, in the way that a lot of PS1 games would.
Sure.
And I like the soundtrack. I think I love the fact that like the soundtrack is like baseline when you're exploring, and then when you get into fight, it actually ramps up into like a battle version of it.
Yeah,
which,
that's not too bad.
We wouldn't like that. That's we applaud Doom 2016 for that.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was kind of ahead of its time for that. I don't know if I can recall any other games doing something quite like that, where it would kick into like a heightened version of the background music and then throttle back down when you're back out of combat. The end.
Yeah, that's about it for the praise. Because I mean, even like the pre-rendered background stuff is like, yeah, they're nice, they're decent, but like
they're a fucking liability.
They are, that's what I was just gonna say. They are like constantly lying to you, and like you can't tell where you're at a lot of the time. Like the camera is fucking awful in it because it's Resident Evil style, preset camera. So good fucking luck. And sometimes enemies are like hiding at just the right camera angle that you can't fucking see them, and you get God.
Even before you get to your first enemy.
I know.
The game has an issue with, and I think they were like maybe too proud of their pre-rendered backgrounds because they wanted you to see them from every goddamn angle, even if it wasn't conducive to exploration or especially combat. No. And anytime that Blake thinks that he can't do something, you hear, "No way."
Oh, good. You even have audio samples. That's good.
Oh, I made a button, Justin.
That's good.
Yeah. Like
that's
to
good.
The point, and because I can't hear it, but I've got to use the Zencaster version of this recording because there's no way that I'm baking all of ththese in after the fact. I'm just going to go with the Zencaster version.
That's fair.
Because no way. Because you hear that constantly.
Yeah.
And usually what that means is that you have to press the R1 button to jump over whatever gap.
Yeah.
Most of the time that's what it is. But also it's weird. Like, and I think the map, if you look really closely at the map, the shape of the area that you can actually explore is very different from what is shown on the screen. And that's where the disconnect happens.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah. So it looks on the screen like this is a platform that I can walk on. And then you just hear, "No way."
Yeah.
"No way."
Oh, you hear that a lot. You
Yeah.
sure hear that a lot.
And then you kind of get around it. It's not, and and it uses tank controls, which
Yep.
I'm totally fine with. Like, I maintain, and I will die on this hill, that if you were doing pre-rendered backgrounds where the perspective is shifting,
Sure.
the best mode of control is a tank control, because
I'll
you
agree with
always
that.
know that up is going to move you forward.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
But the reason that it's so successful in Resident Evil and survival horror games, and there are even other action games that use this, the ones that do it well, is that those camera cuts don't happen that often,
No,
right?
they don't happen often, and they kind of also do little things like your character's head will kind of aim when there's an enemy. It also kind of contributes to the horror aspect of it, and also you have a gun, like, and it kind of auto does it a lot of the time, like it'll auto aim a little bit.
Right.
There's a little bit of leeway there, whereas here you are like, no, it's melee combat, just do it right, and you're like, oh, good. It's impossible to do right, so
Yeah. And
yeah,
you have an exploration mode where you're just walking around, and then you have to, it's one of two things. You can press R2 to willingly go into combat mode, which then changes the entire control scheme.
oh right, yeah, you have to have a whole button press for that, don't you?
Yeah. And,
Yeah, I
and then
forgot.
another button press to get out of it. You press L2 to disengage.
Yeah,
Or it will he will thankfully automatically go into battle mode when an enemy gets within range.
yes,
Which is helpful, because a lot of PS1 era games were doing this. Like, another example that I can think
Yeah.
of, which is another, because one thing about Perfect Weapon that I won't take away from it is that it's an ambitious idea, and I think it's a cool idea that just
it's an
was
ambitious
poorly
idea, all
executed.
right. It's something.
But Batman and Robin for the PS1
Okay,
is
yeah.
also a highly ambitious game that was trying to do what Batman Arkham City was trying to do. It was trying to make
Yeah,
an open world ass Batman game where you had, like, you were in the Batmobile and exploring all of Gotham City and
Right.
going into, like, investigation areas, and then but you also had to, like, do a button toggle to go into combat, and it was the same thing where it's like it was very stiff and
yeah.
just
imagine.
not way more than the PlayStation 1 could handle. But
Right.
I always think of that game and I'm like, I got to give it a lot of credit. It was like, 15 years ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But goddamn.
It was trying some shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the issue here. And when you go into combat mode, you have, like, basically, like, it's Tekken controls. It's like left punch, right punch, left
Sure.
kick, right kick.
Yeah.
And then there's a crouch toggle to, like, sweep and stuff like that.
I think if I remember right, I think I figured out that the best trick for combat was it was one of, like, the crouching kicks. Like,
you gotta sweep the leg, Justin.
Yeah,
it's the only way.
nobody could fuck with it. Like, it was pretty great.
Yeah. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's about the only, especially the wolves.
it's a
It's
war
the only way that you can fight the wolves.
Yeah, which is annoying as shit.
And they're
and that's the first enemy too, which is great. Oh my god! It's
and
so
then
good.
okay, it has one of my least favorite things ever since Final Fight when it comes to a beat 'em up, which is no block button for you, but these fucking wolves can block.
Yeah, why wouldn't they be able to block? They're wolves.
Yeah,
Wolves can
sure.
block.
I mean,
they're known for their blocking abilities. We all know this.
especially alien wolves. I forget that part, right?
Yeah,
So
of course.
they've evolved differently.
Even more prone to blocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess before we get into the nitty gritty of the combat, because that's mainly what this game is,
Basically.
I had to look in the instruction manual to see, like, what the items were, and it tells you, on certain moons, the environment is going to be so extreme that Blake's health gradually reduces. So be sure to find this metabolic stabilizer in the level as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's an interesting wrinkle to introduce to a game, like maybe on level 2 or 3, not the first fucking level.
It's the first level, and not only like even those stabilizers don't last very long at all.
I never found one.
I found maybe one. There's a few there. The pickups in this game are really weird. A lot of them I couldn't figure out what the hell they did. So there's that. I think there was one that was like, I think this might be an extra life or something, but I'm not 100% sure. It was weird, man.
Yeah, I
definitely
mean, there's
picked up a few.
there's plenty of health pickups, but and the problem is in this first level is that your health is just constantly ticking away,
Constantly draining. Yeah.
and then when you get into a fight, it is luck of the draw. Like it again, it is not skill. Like
No.
I thought it was, because basically what would happen is I would get a few screens in and then die, and
Yep.
then and there's no even option to continue or just start from the beginning of the level. It drops it sends you all the way back
Yep.
to the boot
Yep.
screens.
Start
and-
over.
It takes a while to get back into the game because
Sure
the
does.
loading time is redonkulous even for back then.
Uh-huh.
And and then like fortunately, I mean, you can skip the cutscene, but like it replays the cutscene because like you don't.
Why wouldn't
I
it?
had not found a place where you could save. I don't know where the saving comes in. I'm thinking it might only be after the level.
I think maybe, and that's if you're lucky. I'm not actually 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to the point where it's like, that's all I was doing is I was like, okay, let's try it again. It was almost like
Yeah.
a run-based game where it was like, and there were certain runs where it's like, okay, I think I'm getting this. Like I took out these wolves, like I swept the legs and like
Yeah.
they, I didn't take much damage, blah, blah, blah. And then I got through here. It was like, and then you start to learn, oh, some of these item pickups are next to fights where it's actually better to just not even
Just
bother
to run away
because-
from them. Yeah.
Yeah, because any health that you might get from that item, you're going to lose double that in the fight itself. So
Yep.
just move on, right?
Yeah.
So I figured that part out, and then I got like what I felt was like getting pretty deep into the thing,
Mhm.
and then there's a part where it's just a bunch of fucking dudes that just keep on coming, Justin.
Yeah. I remember
They just
that.
they just keep dropping from the ceiling, and it's like you're fighting like 5 of them at a time.
Yeah.
And every time that you kill 1 or 2 of them, they just
That
like
part's
replenish.
bullshit. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that part is. I know exactly what you're talking about. You had the same arc that I did, and that I think I got to that a few times, and I realized I wasn't going to get very much further than that. I was
Yeah.
like, "There's no. I might beat this once, maybe if I'm really lucky," and that's when I was like, "It's time to cheat." That is the only way. And did you make it much further than that, or did you ever get past that, or was that the end point?
That was the end for me, Justin.
Okay.
I tried it over and over and over, just banging my head against it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the combat version of Blake going,
No way, no way, no way, no way,
Right.
no way.
and or more like the game itself telling me that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was mean. It was unfair.
It's mean. It's very mean.
And they have the audacity to actually like, because there's these weird icons that if you walk over them, it'll spawn like a couple like healing items.
Mhm.
But when you're in combat mode, you don't have the freedom of movement that you
Yeah.
have in exploration mode. So because you're just doing these little like stutter steps, you know,
Yes.
because you're
Yeah.
like sticking and moving, right?
Yeah.
So good luck trying to pick these up. And also the game doesn't pause when you go into the map. You have to go into the map menu to
Right.
use your healing items, but the game doesn't pause. It's very Dark Souls.
That's right. I couldn't figure out how to use them for the longest time. Eventually I did, I remember. Like I said, that was like the first hour was me basically having the same arc you did. It sounds like yours continued. Like I said, I was just like, well, it's time to cheat because I would like to know what else there is in this. And there's no way I'm getting past this. I think if I remember right, there's a spot in that first level. There might be a boss. I can't actually remember now at the very end. But the part I remember is like you're on there's like a slope that goes up, and then there's these 2 side passages, and they both have like pickups or some item pickups. And if you go over to the side passages, you'll fight a guy, and then guys will start like popping in, and you got to do that. And I was like, okay, that's stupid. And then you go back to the middle passage. But if you go back, that fight will just happen again, even if there's no pickup there. I was like, that's insane.
Well,
It's great.
there was this part that I thought was super mean where I jumped over a platform and then I heard like what I thought was like the sound of like an item appearing because it was
Yeah.
off screen.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, maybe that's a health thing. So I went back and I jumped back because you can't see what's on that platform until you
Yeah.
jump back. And it was a dude.
Yeah.
that had just spawned in.
Yeah.
And I was like, motherfucker. So I
That's what they do.
took care of him, and then went back about my way, and then heard him like respawn again.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's what they do.
That's just evil. That's just evil.
Yeah, they just respawn. There's no. It's not like you're not clearing it out. You're not clearing the path for yourself. No, They will respawn the fight. It's fine.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that. That was the only
Yeah.
instance of that, because I was moving on fast enough.
It depends. If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong. If it's like later on, once you get to those guys that like spawn in or whatever, that's when they start doing it. Like the wolves, I think stay dead, but yeah, those guys don't and that's like the entire second half of the level. That like infinite fight you got in, I think that happens like another couple times too. Like you have to just keep doing those kind of fights and shit.
Oh, swell.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it never
awesome.
ends. And your health is always steadily draining, which is great. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect weapon. That's why they named it that. I cheated and did something with I think it was a Game Shark thing. The more I think about it, the more I think I used something in the emulator that let me do that. And I beat the first level. The second level is it's not the same. It's at least different. Your health isn't constantly draining. I was instantly like shocked that was that was the first level. Your health is just constantly draining in the first level. That's such an insane choice that they made. And then the second one's like, okay, it's not that. You're in like this kind of like rundown Asian temple type thing, and there's these guys, there's like these monks there that all are like tattooed up and stuff, and you just fight them. It's pretty regular. I think there's a couple other type, maybe another type of enemy or something like that too. Nothing too crazy. The thing that happened on the second level is so I couldn't die, but also at some point I couldn't figure out how to progress anything. I was just like running around the level just seemed like it went in a circle, and I was like, I don't know where to go. And I'm looking at the map everywhere, and I'm like, nothing's happening. I just ran. That's what I did the last hour of my playthrough, was just try to figure out where the fuck to go. And so I just ran around this like empty level, trying to figure that out, and jumping on, doing platform shit, and it all felt awful. Oh man, I could not figure it out. I think there was also one of the cheats was like a stage select thing too, but at that point it was my 2 hours were up, and that was it. That's all I wanted to play a Perfect Weapon.
I know that I put a decent amount of time into it on the PC, but again, I ultimately was like, I can't bring all of this keyboard complaint into this, because that, to me, that's not the intended way of playing that game. Again,
yeah,
I realized that it was released on Windows, and I could have sworn that it was on Saturn as well, but no, it was just PS1 and Windows of all things.
Okay,
interesting. At the time, but but then when I was playing on the Steam Deck, the hurt was real, Justin, because it was like I would do a quote unquote run, and then die and get kicked back out, and I was like, okay, let's put that down now, and we'll come back to that later. I could never play it for more than 20-25 minutes at a clip.
No, I got into it. Not into it. I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait to play. I started it up and started playing. I was like, no, I'm sitting down and getting this done in one shot, because I do not want to fucking come back to this.
Yeah.
So,
for me, it was like, Julian, it's time to take your cough medicine. It was like, no, I don't wanna. I don't wanna. And then I would suck down just a little bit of it. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And I'd spit it out. And then it would be like, Julian, no, but really, you're not going to get better unless you take this cough medicine.
Well, I mean,
it's recurring loop.
It's Perfect Weapon, so you're never going to actually get better. So
true.
That's
I don't think that again, I was watching a speed runner who, I mean, he wasn't doing it for a GDQ or anything like that. It was just a dude, no commentary, just recording himself doing this, but so it was not entertaining whatsoever.
I feel like I might have watched that myself, actually, because I think I might have gotten done with everything and been like, I gotta see somebody that maybe knows what they're doing play this game, and it's still rough. It still looks
Yeah,
rough. It's crazy.
I would, and that's the thing that I kept thinking, like as I was playing it, especially with like the decision to make the first level sap your life
Yeah.
while you're just walking around, and I was like, did y'all motherfuckers play test this at all? I want to see, like, I would have loved to have seen like the QA testers like
Right.
in working on this game where they were just like, oh no, we got it locked, and you need to bump the difficulty up. It's way too easy, son. It's like
either that or
I can't imagine that.
either that or they set everybody to one level and made sure that one level was completable. They're like, is this
Right.
level completable? And they're like, yeah, it is. and they're like, okay, good enough. That's it. That's perfect weapon. We put it in the can. It's done.
That sounds like the premise of a game that I played this week that I'll talk about
Sure.
on the main episode.
Absolutely.
Because it's really cool. So I got super curious because this game was developed by Gray Matter, and I was like, I've never heard of Gray Matter. I bet this was like the only thing they ever made. And no,
Oh boy.
they actually made a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And they even made a game that I know Dennis is fond of.
Okay.
I don't know if I actually played it, but I always remember it because it had like a lot of blood and gore back before like people started to have like
Excellent.
conniptions over that. They made Technocop, which was like,
Oh, I've heard you. Yeah, I've heard of
yeah,
that.
it was on the Genesis, but it also came out on like Apple II and MS-DOS and shit. They did James Bond. They did a lot of licensed stuff. So like James Bond Jr., Wayne's World, The Terminator, WWF King of the Ring. But they also did B.O.B. on the Super Nintendo, which is a really good action platformer.
Okay.
So it's not all doom and gloom. And then they did the Ren and Stimpy show Vidiots, which I don't think that's the Ren and... Oh, no, I think that is the Ren and Stimpy game that I played, which had really pretty graphics, but was not a good game.
I feel like I remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were pretty active on like the Super Nintendo, a little bit on the original Nintendo. They even
Sure.
they had a couple 3DO games in there.
That sounds right.
Because my thinking was they made this game and then it didn't sell and they were done. But no, they had one more, or actually one more shot.
Okay.
And I was fucking floored when I saw what it was.
What was it?
The Crow City of Angels for PlayStation and Saturn,
Perfect.
which I am on
Perfect.
record in multiple podcasts talking about that being one of the worst games that I had ever seen in my retail days, but it being the game that taught me that there's technically no such thing as a bad game, because I remember a couple coming into my store and wanting to try the Crow City of Angels for PlayStation 1.
Right.
And they played it for like a good 15 minutes in that store
Yeah.
and then bought it because they really liked what they played. And I
By
remember
God.
doing the sale and turning to my coworker, and I was like, there's no such thing as a bad game, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
there's something for everybody.
There's something for everyone, Julian. That's true.
Yeah. But knowing that it was a back-to-back whammy of Perfect Weapon and The Crow.
Oh yeah, that man. I remember looking at the reviews for Crow City of Angels. I remember that one being infamous. Like I remember that being the lowest score on a review I had seen up to that point for me personally. And just being like, holy shit, that game must be awful. Never touched it myself, but yeah.
I am now checking. It's weird to try to go back to. You're right. Okay, Metacritic doesn't have shit on this. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I'm not saying it was the lowest scored video game ever or anything like that. I'm just saying
No. But I was just
remember
curious if I could find like a contemporary review.
in the time that I had started looking at magazines for video games, which was right around the PlayStation era. That was when I personally remember looking at a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the review for that one and being like, wow, that one is not
Ooh.
good, huh?
Oh, hold on. This might be where this comes into. Oh wait, but do I remember my login? Shit, I don't. Okay.
Yeah, well.
Oh wait, maybe I've got it saved. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm holding. Everybody hold on. Good. I'm drinking. Let's see what I'm not drinking. That makes it sound like I'm getting drunk. I'm not doing that. Drinking a Rio Punch Juice Monster right now. Tastes like green Skittles. Pretty good. Recommend it.
I would be curious to see what you're like if you're drunk.
Oh, it's been a while. The last time I got drunk actually was when like one night after Trump got reelected. Yeah, I was like,
that'll do it.
and it was because I couldn't sleep that night, and I was just like, you know what? There's alcohol downstairs. And I think I chugged 2 like Smirnoff Ice things that we just randomly had, and I was like, that'll do. And then I went to sleep. That was about it. Most of the time I just go to bed. I'm not a fun drunk. I just go to bed because they just make me tired.
Yeah.
It's not really a fun thing for me.
I've found that I'm kind of a horny drunk,
Well, there you go.
but that's not much.
I don't really have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm sleepy now. Let's go to bed.
Okay. So this is turning. I love that I have this. I am looking through the EGM archive,
Right.
which I have access to because I backed the EGM compendium, which
Excellent.
I'm still, they haven't shipped it yet, but I'm
Right.
very excited they're about to. So I found the EGM review for Perfect Weapon, not as terrible as you would think,
Interesting.
but also because you have to cast, you have to think about
you have to put it in its era.
Yeah, because so the way EGM the review crew worked is they had 4 people on a game, which is in just mind blowing to think that you could do that.
Right.
Have 4 separate people play the same game to completion for a review.
Crazy.
But then they had their individual scores, but there was also just like an overall breakdown of different parts of the game. And so they did put the visuals as an 8, the ingenuity at an 8.
Right.
Which I think that
I could see
especially
it, yeah.
at the time.
It was different for the time, especially. I mean, nobody had really matched the tank controls bit with the combat bit, so ingenuity, I could see it.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go with Dan's shoe because it's Dan's shoe.
I was going to say that doesn't make it right, but that's what
right.
Oh,
wow. Okay. Yeah. Cause he actually gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
There were 2 7s, 2 6.5s. He said, I'll read his entire thing because that's the great thing about review crew reviews.
Yeah.
Dan says, Perfect Weapon's backgrounds and animation were supposed to be top notch, and they are. The music was supposed to be incredible, and it is. The gameplay was supposed to kick butt, and it didn't quite make par.
Yeah.
After you get used to the controls, which will take a little bit, you'll find that the game is very sluggish. Walking or even running around the levels is a pain. The combat is awesome with its multitude of moves and combos, but is difficult at the same time with the poor controls.
Yeah.
Finally, there were problems with the collision mapping and clipping, just some minor polygon breakup. But then he closes with, Perfect Weapon is a great game with flaws, which I love you, Shu, but no.
I wonder if he played it now, after all we've learned and how far we've come, how he would feel. But then again, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing, right? So I can page through. So
exactly, we're putting it in its time. So yeah. I mean, at the time, it might compared to a lot of other stuff on the PlayStation, it might have been all right,
Yeah, the reviews that are on this same page are Pro Pinball by Interplay, which got lower scores.
Okay.
Black Dawn, which got slightly higher scores. Let me see what else is in here.
There you go.
Because I also want to see what was like the Iron and Blood, that fighting game that I was talking about.
Perfect.
That's in here with lower scores.
Oh, there you go.
I wonder what their game of the month was. Because this is fuck, man. Yeah, they played Steel Harbinger this month, which they actually kind of liked. Holy shit.
God bless.
It was a different time, man.
It was a very different time.
There's a review for Vector Man 2 on the Genesis this month, because that's where we're at.
Yeah, I remember that. That definitely happened.
Oh, I guess they didn't do Game of the Month back at this time.
They might not.
So, yeah, I'm not seeing anything. But yeah, so it was actually a pretty shitty month.
Yeah.
So
in comparison to everything else they played, it was probably like, I don't know, this one's okay, I guess.
Yeah. Like by far the highest scoring thing was King of Fighters 96 for the Neo Geo.
Excellent. Yeah. Can't compare.
So Yeah, man. Oh, I love this. Is such a wonderful tool to have.
That's nice.
But
I love
fuck.
it. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's great.
But yeah, and you know, definitely like, I mean, even with us, right? Because like, I know for a fact that like our suffer scores don't necessarily like line up with like what the Pantheon is, because I
Right.
guarantee that there are, you know, like once we get into like actually the rating and everything, the suffering scale for me might not be as bad as some of the stuff, but like I'm gonna push for this pretty high on the list.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Mm.
Any closing thoughts on Perfect Weapon before we get into that stuff?
Perfect Weapon is a video game that somebody made and people did play it, and it wasn't very good. The
No
end.
way.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
And all I have to say is,
No way.
Yeah.
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 I really hope that picks up on the Zencaster recording. I'm going to be very upset if I still have to edit it after the fact, because
I'm
I
sorry.
put it in there a lot.
You did. If it doesn't, just imagine somebody saying "no way" a lot, and then you
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Well, no, I'll still end up putting it in. It's just going to be like way more tedious than if it's just baked into the
Oh,
recording.
well, yeah, that's fair.
So, Justin, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being barely suffered and 10 being extreme suffering,
Yeah.
where do you put Perfect Weapon?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I've had this is fun because I've actually had time to stew on it and think it
Mhm.
over. I'm gonna put it at a probably about an 8.5. You know what? Let's just say 9. Let's say a 9, because it's a miserable game to play. Even on God mode, it's miserable because like I can't express enough that like, yes, I couldn't die at a certain point, but I also couldn't figure out how the fuck to go anywhere in the game. So at some point I was just running around an empty level and I was like, this sucks even worse somehow. And there's nothing more nightmarish to me in a video game when I can't figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go, because that's when I start to get upset. So
Yeah.
I'm actually going to say it's a 9 for me. This was a really bad experience all the way around. It was not fun. So yeah.
Yeah, so level 9 is I Am Die, Thank You Forever.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Ah, I'm die. Thank you, forever.
And I'm actually right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm at a 9, I Am Die, Thank You Forever.
Ah, I'm die. Thank you, forever.
Because I think the proof is in the pudding. The fact that I couldn't stand it for more than 20 minutes at a time.
Oh, it was not fun for at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, I made myself sit there for the allotted time. I was like, I'm getting this done because I don't want to come back to this. I won't come back to this. I know myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, even cheating, it's cheating somehow made it worse. I don't know how that's possible. Like the more I see into the game, the more I was like, this still sucks because I still have to like engage with the game and control it, and that's not good. So here we are. Yeah, it's what a video game.
I think you and we're really good about being able to, like, we can acknowledge multiple things to be
Yeah.
true, right? Like I respect it for what it tried to do.
I do too.
I can acknowledge the things that it did well for the time.
Yeah.
But it's also just an extremely terrible game to play.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah,
And I feel almost unplayable.
yeah. I think the unforgiving nature of it, especially just in that first level, is insane.
I forgot to mention just how, because like you brought up a good point with like survival horror games, which is that like your characters would kind of do a decent auto aim.
Yeah,
You would have, sometimes you would want to like move your character to kind of angle it up just
Right.
a little bit, but for the most part you were fine.
yeah.
Blake Hunter does not
No.
auto correct. He does
will
turn around
fucking
fairly
whiff.
quickly for how stiff he is.
Yeah.
But he does, there's no lock on,
No.
and the enemies can just wail on you. And like we said, sweeping the leg is the key strat.
Yeah.
So you're crouched, which will take out enemies pretty easily. But the wolves do this like jumping lunge.
Yeah.
And so you can get into a situation where they will just like jump and lunge over the sweep the leg and
Yep.
then hit you. And there are a lot of times when you're playing this game where it feels like you're playing a fighting game again, and you've never touched the controls before, and you don't even know how to block.
Right.
And you're playing it against someone who he owns the game. You're at your friend's house, and he plays it like he's been playing it every day
Yeah.
over the summer for like 10 hours a day.
They're fucking with you with like one move that you cannot beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea how to like block or counter it, and they know that, and they just enjoy like watching you get pissed.
Yeah.
It is that. It's
It's
100% that.
It's 100% that. Yeah. It's something. Oh yeah.
Oh fuck. All right. So now
All right.
we're in an interesting scenario. We are
Okay.
recording this on October 24th of 2025, just for
That is
posterity,
facts. Yep.
because this is for a listener of one.
Mhm.
But I still wanted to put it on the Pantheon, but this is the Shadow Pantheon. So this will be a thing where if this game makes it, I think it probably is.
Yeah.
So there's going to be like this secret version of the Pantheon that only Dennis will know unless
Yeah.
he decides to share it with other people.
Right.
So let's go through it, right? Because
Sure.
we're at a we recently did like the regular Suffer Select. So
Yes.
we'll just go up through the ranks.
Mhm.
Justin,
Okay.
did you suffer more than Bratz Rhythm and Style?
Oh yeah. I play Bratz again all day over this shit.
Yeah. Did you suffer more than Night Trap?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Me too. Did you
Yeah.
suffer more than Siberia? Well, yeah, that's always.
Yeah.
I hated that game, but you have this odd affection
I
for
have
it,
this
so I always
odd
forget.
affection for it, and I do try to take that into account whenever we talk about it. But yes, I did absolutely.
Did you suffer more than Ukulele?
Oh yeah.
The game just got a re-release. That just seems like the stupidest idea. That game
What
only
a
came out
what?
last gen.
What a wild thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you suffer more than Waifu Impact 2?
Oh yeah. Yeah. At least I could progress somewhat in fucking Waifu Impact 2.
Waifu Impact 2 was at least breezy.
At least it was easy. Yes, exactly.
Did you suffer more than Uriel's Chasm?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I'm inclined to agree because at least like I was able to stick with Uriel's Chasm long enough to finish it twice.
Uriel's Chasm is at least like interesting in some weird fucking artsy way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect Weapon interesting in like shooting for the moon and not getting out of the
Yeah.
backyard.
Right.
But yeah. Did you suffer more than Panda Hero? Now we're getting into it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Did you suffer more than Bioforge?
Yes. Personally, yes. There's this one, Bioforge at least is like puzzle heavy and like
Yeah.
yes, it's miserable to play, but like it's not quite as combat focused as this fucking thing is, and they're both making similar mistakes, right? But like
They are.
this one is not only making that mistake, but it is like putting that mistake front and center, like
And constantly in your
and
face.
constantly, yeah.
No, I mean I agree because
Yeah.
and like I said earlier, like at least with Bioforge, I could save
You can
when I was
save,
like
right?
successful and like make incremental progress, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And I think I've forgotten to. I don't know if I ever told you this, like because one of our big issues with Bioforge is the alarm that was blaring in our ears
Right,
while
yeah.
we were suffering through it, and apparently there is a button to turn that alarm off.
Oh,
and
that's
if we
good.
I know that I would have suffered quite a bit less if I had found that.
Right. Sure.
Did you suffer more than Desert Bus?
That's tough, but personally, yes. And it's complicated. But Desert Bus, as much as my thumb and finger hurt from playing it, it at least I at least laughed at some of the radio stuff sometimes, and found some of it like because it knows what it is and it is going for like a miserable experience, and sometimes I was like, this is the perfect radio thing for like making a miserable experience. Like I kind of respect it for that.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it is what it is, but like, yeah, I definitely did. This game was a lot worse to play for me personally.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And fuck, Justin, I think I suffered more than Guilty Force.
Ooh, I don't know.
Because Guilty Force, like, I didn't like it sucked, and I didn't like playing it, but I could at least like handle it for extended periods of time.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong. I kind of played them both in the same way, and I will say this, I made progress without cheating in Guilty Force that I did not make in this game.
Yeah, I think, again, it's sort of like the Night Trap situation where if you had played it more the way that I played it, I think that you would be like right up there with me.
Yeah, no, and like I said, cheating didn't really help that much. It just made it to where I couldn't, now I was stuck in hell forever.
Yeah. NTR is fun in the heat of the moment, but then when you like sit back and look at what you've done, it's just, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, okay. I can agree with putting in number one. I can agree with that. Yeah. I can agree with that. Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to be the outcome coming into this.
No.
But that makes this even more special.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is the worst one we played so far. 100%. And that's even through the lens of playing it a little while back. I still remember. Yeah. I remember like you being like, "Let's do Perfect Weapon." This upcoming week, I was like, I am so glad I got that shit done, because if I would have had to ruin my fucking week off with playing 2 hours of that fucking thing, I would be so upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just the memory, and I was kind of laughing because I was like, Julian has to play Perfect Weapon. This is gonna be funny as hell.
Well, I kind of did my own method of cheating, but I think it's okay. Which is at a certain point, I was like, wait, I actually played a good chunk of this on the PC. Sure. I'm counting that time.
Count it. Yeah, I get it.
But even so, like I'm sure that I think I might have played it overall like more than 2 hours in total.
I think I actually might have played it slightly more than 2 hours too.
Because honestly, I kind of wanted to come in here with like, oh, I like got really far in this game just to be able to like really talk thoroughly about it.
Right. But that's what I wanted to do too. I wanted to see what it had, before. I was really in that second level. I was really trying to progress because I was like, oh, I want to go to the next level or see the boss here or do whatever so I can talk more about like what comes next, because in my brain I was like, Julian probably won't get here, because I knew like that first level was miserable. Yeah. And I don't know how many people are that good at video games to continue on as such, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So the Shadow Pantheon of Suffering Select stands as thus.
Yeah.
Number 10, Bratz Rhythm and Style. Number 9, Night Trap. Number 8, Siberia.
Wouldn't Bratz Rhythm and Style get knocked off? Yeah.
That was knocked off. I'm going to have to, okay.
That's the Shadow Pantheon, though. Yeah, it's still there in the regular one. You're going to have to make a separate list, yeah.
Because what I did, and I'll fix this later, I'm going to put a secondary, like, Pantheon up on the sheet.
Right.
But for right now, I just put it in parentheses. So, yes, Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
Number 10, Night Trap. Number 8, Siberia. Number 7. Wait. Hold on. I'm fucking this up.
Everybody
Number 10. Night Trap.
Yes.
Number 9, Siberia. I can count.
It's okay.
Number 8, Ukulele.
Right.
Number 7, Waifu Impact 2. This is hard because it's got the other number next to it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Number 6, Uriel's Chasm. Number 5, Panda Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Bioforge. Number 3, Desert Bus.
Yep.
Number 2, Guilty Force. And our new Shadow Crown holder.
Yeah.
Perfect Weapon.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days we'll have like a unifying title match or something.
I mean, we don't really have to. We don't really need to do that. It would just be this shadow becomes reality. It's risen from the shadow like a vampire or something. I don't know.
But yes, so that's going to do it for this impromptu solo edition of the Suffer Select. Once again, Dennis, thank you so much for supporting the show and
thank you very much, Dennis.
On.
You're the best.
I personally I think deep down I know that if we did like the executive producer tier at $10, most of the people would stay at that. but I can't get over that hurdle in my
Yeah.
head. And for you to have spent $50, well, actually 60 total or 55 total on us for like multiple months
Right.
is beyond the pale to me. So
Absolutely.
can't thank you enough. Hopefully you got a kick out of this. I tried to put a little bit more Riz on it than the normal Suffer Selects.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, we will see you on the other side. And, just anytime that we're ranking something on the Suffer Select, just
know in
kind
your
of sticker
head.
to yourself
Yeah.
that you're like, I know the true number
Right.
one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. All right. Well, no other way to end this. Just take care and have a Korean corn dog for me.
Have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
How are you doing today? You. Are you doing well? You. Ugh. You feel threatened? I'm glad your instincts are working.